Hey everyone, this is your Astrology Horoscope for Thursday, March 14th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moonbase. Hope you guys are doing amazing. It's good to be here with all of you. This moon in Taurus is feeling pretty nice. We definitely have had some nice Venus, Taurus, Pisces energy come through the past day or so, and this moon will conjunct Uranus at 20 degrees. So Uranus is at the third decan of Taurus. And, we've been here before. So I think this moon in Taurus, it wants to be comfortable. It wants to be stable. But also, I think we're finding maybe not necessarily the stability, but the confidence in being able to handle the unexpected, to be able to handle the chaos in, a different way, and to be able to, innovate new ideas that can really affect our lives in very different ways that we may not have prepared for, or, just being comfortable in the Uranian chaotic, unexpected vibe, right? I think this moon, we've gone through so much of that the past few months, and we've been dealing with this Uranus and Taurus since 2018, and now that Uranus is finally for the second time coming through the third decan of Taurus, with this moon here coming straight into it, I think it's like, all right, I got a better hold on things. When things come flying at me, I know how to deal with them better and not lose our shit. And just get too caught up in the overwhelming electric vibration that Uranus can tend to, carry. So, and this sun is getting closer to Neptune here. So the sun's at 24 degrees today. We're 3 degrees away from the Sun-Neptune conjunction. So as much as we're feeling this kind of excitement in our lives, and definitely this, I feel like there's an accomplished energy to this week, right? And, feeling like, wow, like we're seeing results of our efforts starting to show through. I said this yesterday, but, now it's like, man, like there's this new confidence coming through, and also this kind of like, a breath of fresh air. This is definitely, since the new moon last weekend, this is definitely a good sense of, starting to get to the other side of things and feeling a little bit more not so, overwhelmed by the intensity of things. I think too, like, it's crazy because as this moon conjuncts Uranus, just a few hours later, this moon is going to square Mars in Aquarius, right? At 23 degrees. And I'm not looking at this as like, oh shit, like get ready, right? Like we've already gone through the oh shit, get ready. This is more of like, okay, like things are going to pop up, like we're going to have to make some adjustments, and emotionally, like we are feeling much more confident and much more stable. But at the same time, like there are going to be some things that pop up to have to, that are asking us to make some quick adjustments, and there could be a moment of discomfort, but we've already gone through the ringer here. So we just have to keep in mind of what that experience was, and that we now have the awareness. We have the conscious awareness of how to deal with this energy. We now can, make some big boy strides in, how we're reinventing our lives here. So, and I think too, like this brings up, if we want to zoom out a little bit, this brings up this whole TikTok ban thing, right? This is very Uranian, Aquarian, Uranus and Taurus squaring all these planets in Aquarius. And now with the moon here, what's it really going to be? We don't really know what the outcome of that really is looking like. There's more going on underneath the surface because Mars still in the same sign as Pluto, and Pluto's behind the scenes, right? So what's really going on? It's more of a power grab, right? So we can see that pop up in our lives today. And if we get into these like very fixed kind of power struggles, I feel like it won't last long. It won't last long. We have the tools to really move through this kind of energy. We've gone through so much of this. So, and this is another test of like, hey, you got to take your experience and evolve and grow. And today, there can definitely be some tests that come up that can, ask you to recall what that energy was that we just gone through. And it's like, were you really paying attention? Were you really absorbing the message? Were you really getting the message, right? Mercury's at 8 degrees of Aries now, so it's on its way to the North Node. So karmically, we're in a very karmic cycle now, and this is building up towards this new moon in Aries here that we're going to be seeing. So, or the eclipse, my bad. So with this Mercury on its way to the North Node, it's like we're having a lot of karmic conversations, and a lot of conversations that are coming up seem to be karmic. Of like, it could be connected to some past life situations that need to be addressed, But also, too, with this Mercury North Node that we're about to have, and then with Chiron, I think the big hump that we got over with this North Node Chiron, I feel like now we have enough distance from that transit and from that conjunction. And definitely we're feeling like we're on the other side of things now. But now with this Mercury on its way to the North Node, we could start to actually have the conversation and like be bold about the truth of what that experience truly was, in our relationships and in our partnerships. And, this Mercury is kind of really bringing up a lot of self issues and relationship issues and the conversations that really need to be had here. But at the same time, I feel like this is more about, the things that were unsaid through this North Node Chiron conjunction. It's like there were things that haven't been fully said. There were experiences and triggers that we went through that really triggered us to get to the other side of things. But at the same time, like, there are things that were buried that are going to come up through this North Node Chiron, or this Mercury North Node Chiron thing that we're going through over the next 2 weeks, really a week. So karmically, then we're going to start to see things play out in a whole different way when it comes to ourselves and our partnerships and our relationships and the people that we're connected to, and definitely how much things have changed, There's been a lot of rapid change very quickly. So definitely, a lot of karma is playing out, and being able to confront ourselves in a different way. I think Mercury in Aries is us confronting ourselves and confronting our own mind and getting over our own internal battles, right? And being able to like even just talk with ourselves and have the conversation with ourselves about the experience that we just went through over the past few months with all of these fixed squares to Uranus, and the North Node Chiron conjunction. I think, this Mercury in Aries is giving us this opportunity to really have the conversation about what we've really gone through. It hasn't been easy to express what that was, especially going through Mercury in Pisces. It's not always easy to express logically how you feel. I think now we can put the pieces together in a much better way and really express ourselves boldly and from a more personal perspective and not such a zoomed out perspective, like a fourth dimensional perspective. Now it's like we're coming into ourselves and coming into our own minds and being able to realize like, wow, like this is what I learned through this North Node Chiron. This is what I learned through all these fixed squares to Uranus, like, and Pluto coming into Aquarius with all of that. Like, now we can start to really externalize and not internalize those things so much. And I think with this Mercury in Aries, we want to externalize those things. much more. And karmically, it's important. And karmically, we're going to be experiencing that, whether you like it or not. So, and it definitely is to the life that you want to create and the place that you want to go in your life. It's the North Node, and definitely that's connected to past relationships and how that's affected us in ways that have kind of caused a lot of trauma, that have kind of hindered our vulnerability. As much as we're in Pisces season, so vulnerability, it's all about being vulnerable. But I think Mercury in Aries is very vulnerable too. It's not afraid to say what it wants to say and trying to get the message across. It's just you want to be aware of not coming across too hot-headed or being too abrasive. You want to always see things from the other side as well, especially when this Mercury comes onto this North Node, opposing the South Node in Libra. It's like you always want to, give your perspective, but also be aware that we have to see it from the other perspective as well, and see it from somebody else's angle, and have compassion for other people's perspective, and being able to learn from one another, most importantly. We got the Page of Pentacles. So this is very youthful energy too, but also like knowing the value of being able to speak your mind, and being able to, just be like that newborn energy, right? There's value in that youthful energy that, can be lost whenever things get so serious, right? And you get calloused, you get shut down. I think this Page of Pentacles here is like, it's like you gotta tap into that youth, and tap into that fountain of youth and know the value of that and know your worth in that youthful state of being able to just be present and be right where you're at and not be caught in the future and be caught in the past, and at the same time, it's like, we're on a new journey here. We're on a whole new journey. We're about to come into Aries season. So there is this whole renewal and this youthful energy coming through, but we have to know the value of being able to stay in that place and not like get caught up in time. It's Saturn in Pisces. It's like, it's kind of bending time in a weird way. You lose track of time. Like today, like working all day in the studio is just like, damn, we totally lost track of time. And I got here at 11. I didn't sleep last night at all. Due to some pretty intense experiences going on personally. And by the time I got to the studio, it was like we got to work. And then the next thing you knew, it was 8 o'clock. I'm like, shit, I gotta film the horoscope for tomorrow. And it's just like, losing track of time, but sometimes that's good to be in that youthful place of just being present and where time doesn't really matter. And there is value in that, I know when we're talking about Taurus and Capricorn and it's all about being, practical and on time and, having things in order, but I think there's value in being able to just let go and be vulnerable and tap into when time doesn't really matter, So it's finding a balance of that, I think the Page of Pentacles always reminds me of that youthful energy. And it's like, man, you can't lose touch with the knowing of the value of just, being that true self of who you are and where you come from and not forgetting where you come from as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. This is, it's feeling like a refreshing week, a breath of fresh air for sure. Like we've gone through so much intensity already in 2024 and it hasn't been easy for sure. And now we're definitely on the other side of some chaos and some craziness. I mean, this doesn't mean that it's over in 2024 for sure. Definitely coming into the fall and the winter, shit's going to get wild with Jupiter and Gemini, squaring Neptune and squaring Saturn. It's going to get circusy out there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. If you're new here, like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends. Find me on Instagram, Spotify, the TikTok, if it's not banned. If you want to book a reading with me, my booking website The link to my booking website is in the description of this video, along with all the links to all of my social media platforms where you can find me. So I really appreciate you all being here. There's new people showing up every day and getting messages and emails from people who are enjoying me doing this and sharing this with you guys. And it helps me learn. It helps me grow. And I hope it does the same for you. And it's really amazing that we can do this in this time period, because I come from a world of very slow internet and MySpace and all, like, this is really incredible. So I appreciate all of you so much, and I will see you all on Friday. Peace out.